Right. In fact, it doesn't seem like it's only K S Eshwarappa now, but several other ministers also. In fact, the Contractors Association, like you rightly mentioned, has just alleged right now that even, the Health Minister Sudhakar over here has been, making some pressing demands. And it's really quite startling now that after the death, it really took the death of one contractor for, in fact, the association to actually sort of come out. Initially, of course, we saw that, there were allegations against K S Eshwarappa. A letter was written to the Prime Minister as well. But now this seems like it's something that's much more deep-rooted into the government. It's not just to do with one particular minister. We are, in fact, going to try and speak to the Contractors Association here, who's joining us, and try and understand from them, in fact, at this point in time, we'll try reaching out to them in just a bit now, but we do understand that also, in fact, allegations have been made here. Sir, if I can just ask you, sir, there are allegations now also against the Health Minister that the Contractors Association has levelled.
Better we discuss with my president, otherwise
Okay.
He will give the
Okay, so if you can just tell us briefly, sir, since he seems to be a little... Okay, all right. Well, in fact, we are going to try and wait for the president of the Contractors Association over here, Mr. Kempanna, to speak to us. But, like you rightly mentioned, this seems like the allegations are not merely restricted to one ministry anymore. Now, will the government have to look at a complete overhaul? That is also something that's being looked at. Very serious charges, very serious allegations coming to light here. A case already, that has been booked against Mr. K S Eshwarappa for abetment or suicide. When we spoke to the Contractors Association, they said that their main demand is that this 40% commission that's being collected be thoroughly probed, be thoroughly looked into. And this is precisely the demand that the Congress and even the Aam Aadmi Party over here in the state of Karnataka have been pressing for. Now, what is unfortunate is that, one person really had to claim, had to commit suicide over here for the government to wake up to this tragedy of sorts and register a case. This could have been avoided is what the opposition has been maintaining. Let's tell you that it was in the month of March when we saw the allegations, in fact, being made. And despite that, there was no action on it, both from the state government or the central government for that matter. But now, after this entire tragedy has taken place, we're seeing, but the big question over here, of course, still remains about whether the government, number one, will probe all the allegations that have been made, and secondly, also whether the government will seek the resignation, whether the Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai today will seek the resignation of Minister K S Eshwarappa or not. In fact, also while we are mentioning this, it is important over here to take stock of the fact that, this was in fact almost... Sir, just one last question to you, sir. You have also levelled allegations not only against the existing minister who's been named, but you've said other ministers also in the government have been collecting commissions. So if you can throw some light on that, please.
Now, after 15 days, I am going to give this one because we are calling the press conference and announce the overall the ministry involved and all. We will publish this one.
Okay. So if you can give us a clue, so like you did mention earlier also that, even the Health Minister, Mr. Sudhakar, and several others.
Her name has come because in a discussion, a lot of people complaints has come and we know some of the cases. And we have got other documents also against Sudhakar. Next 15 days, we release all this.
So this is something that is very deep-rooted, sir. This is not restricted to one department or one minister, sir.
It's all the departments is there. Wherever the works is there, they're all corruption is there.
Have you met, sir? Has the association met the Chief Minister, sir? We saw a letter was written last year.
Half a dozen times we write a letter for them. He has not given the appointment and all. Personally, we requested, he has not called on this one. That's why we are fighting for this.
Are you hopeful, sir, now because one contractor has already committed suicide? Are you hopeful that the government will listen?
Called also, we are going to fight this.
Are you by any chance planning to approach the court, sir? Are you looking at the legal recourse? Is that also
legal
on the
also, we are taking a legal side also.
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, in fact, that was over here the Contractors Association President, Mr. Kempanna, stating that while there were some discussions that were going on internally of the Contractors Association, the name of Health Minister Dr. Sudhakar and a few others had also popped up. And despite that, the Karnataka Chief Minister here, they've tried to take multiple appointments with him to meet him to discuss this issue. It was out in the open. We saw the letter being put out over there, but despite that, no action has been taken either by the state government or the central government.
Thank you so much, Neha, for bringing us those very, very important details and those key takeaways that have come in from the Contractors Association press conference. They have, in fact, made these damaging claims, and this is not just about one minister. We are, of course, looking at the Rural Development Minister in the state, Mr. K S Eshwarappa, against whom these charges have been made. Now, the Health Minister of the state, Mr. Sudhakar, and his name has also popped in. And now, as Neha was bringing to us, there are more and more names that might just be coming in, where against who these graft charges are being claimed to be against. We'll keep a track on this particular story that's coming in, and a very developing one at that, from the state of Karnataka.